Ladies and gentlemen, live from all over Los Angeles, California, it's the Nighttime Show. With us, as always, our head writer and producer, Matt Walker. I am the voice of the Nighttime Show, Mike Black. And, of course, our host with the most, as long as the most doesn't include COVID-19, Mr. Stephen Kramer Glickman.
Yo! Hey, everybody, you're listening to the Nighttime Show podcast live from all of our homes, basically.
Yes.
We are all in separate places. Oh, God.
And Matt is definitely under quarantine.
Yeah, Matt, stay home. Don't come anywhere near me.
That's the only cough I've had in hours. I'm fine. I just had something in my throat.
You're okay. We're all fine. Don't worry about us. Take care of yourselves. Stay home. Listen to podcasts and masturbate and watch movies. I don't know what you want. You do whatever you want. Whatever you want.
Spend your time well. Like Mike. What have you been doing the last day or two?
The most of this weekend, I've been playing the free game trial of Predator on PS4, and it's been a dream come true. I keep hearing. You would think I'm hearing the Predator theme music from the movies, but all I hear is "I've had the time of my life" from Dirty Dancing.
Wow.
This game is that wonderful. It's so faithful to the movie.
Do you feel like you're
so
jumping into Patrick Swayze's arms while you play?
The game is Patrick Swayze, and I am a young Jennifer Grey.
Oh, that feels nice. That feels
no
real
longer
warm.
in the corner.
That does sound.
It's amazing. If you played Friday the 13th, it's similar to that. It's a 5-player game. 4 of you get to be like military badasses, and one of you is randomly picked to be the Predator, and that guy can either wipe out your team or help out your team, depending on how merciful they want to be. And then if you complete your military mission, then you can try and kill the Predator or try and escape. And each match is about 15 minutes.
So the Predator is on your team?
He doesn't have to be. He can stalk the jungle and just kind of observe you guys like he did in the movie and let you deal with your own problems. Or he can actively participate at any point and start like blowing up like the military compound that you guys are invading and helping you out. Or he can just take out one of you halfway through or take out all of you right away. Or if he sees the escape chopper, he can kind of like get in front of it and kill you right before you get on. Oh, and he can even do that thing where once you've beaten him, he can still activate that panel on his arm and blow up half the jungle. So you still have to like escape his blast radius.
Yeah. So while you're playing, Mike, are you on like a headset with your team?
You can be. You have that option. But if you're playing with a bunch of noobs, it doesn't really matter.
Because if I was on a headset playing Predator, I would just the entire time just be like, "Get to the chopper." I would just say that over and over again. It'd be really annoying.
Yeah. People have the option to mute you when you do that.
Yes. I'd be on mute the whole time.
It is not the best military advice most of the time. But what's kind of cool about it is it's a lot, much like how Friday the 13th was, it is a lot like being in a horror movie where when you have people over comms and you're like, status report, and they're like, I'm fine, there's nothing going on.
Shit.
Or you just hear like a bunch of like machine gun fire all of a sudden, and they're like, no. And then like the next thing you know, they're just not there anymore.
Nice.
Wow.
That's cool.
You know.
Well, I'll tell you, and Matt, I don't know if you know this or not, but Mike Black and I, we've been teaming up on PS4 on a game called Red Dead Redemption 2, riding out together because we're best friends, and there has been absolutely no problems. The whole time we've played.
Those poor horses carrying you two around.
Steven has not fucked up every single mission that we've been on.
Yeah,
he is not.
Matt, Mike Black said to me, and I want to get this quote right.
Mhm.
I think it was, if you and I, do you remember what you said? If I said, would we be friends if we were in the Old West?
Yeah.
And do you remember what you said?
I said something along the lines of, I would have shot you within 5 minutes of meeting you for the good of the Old West.
Yeah.
You're like, this guy is going to be nothing but trouble.
You know how, Matt, it's like a common Old West law that if you kill a horse, it's a hanging offense.
Yes.
In one 20-minute match, Stephen killed 17 horses by driving them to their doom while I tried to complete the mission around his failure.
Is it basically...
I rode a horse off a cliff where I survived and the horse died. And then I was like, okay, I'll go get another horse. And then I got on the second horse and I was like, all right, let's go. And I accidentally stepped off the edge of the cliff and we both died. And it was like within 2 minutes, I killed 2 horses.
Yeah.
And
I'm using up all of our extra lives. And then one time we were doing part of the mission, and he goes, all right, we're done, let's go. And he jumps on my horse, and I was like, get the fuck off my horse, Stephen. You are not killing my horse.
So is it kind of like just playing with Mongo from Blazing Saddles?
Yeah.
Very similar to Mongo from Blazing Saddles. I kept hearing it's not my fault a lot more often.
Probably as many farts.
What did we do at the end of the mission, Stephen, that was fun?
Oh yes, we got these 2 guys, these 2 bank robbers or bad guys or whatever, and we hogtied them, and then we put them on the train tracks, and then we had the choice to either cut them free and let them go, or stand by and watch them get run over by a train. And we were like, how was that even an option? And we just stood there and just watched them get hit by a train. It was awesome.
It was great. And that clip is on my Twitter, Mike Black Attack, if you want to see it.
Oh, it's so good. Worth watching.
And you'll hear me in there say that was worth 10 horses, Stephen.
Oh, I was playing the other night, and I'm riding a horse up to where you when you get close, when you're riding a horse next to a train, if you press a button, it'll let you jump off the horse and onto the train. And I was waiting for that little button to like pop up on the screen to say jump now, jump now, jump now. And we were getting closer and closer to the edge of the mountain where the suspension bridge takes the train over like a giant, bridge. Crevasse, right? And I was like, all right, I guess I'm just going to do it now. And I did it and jumped, and my horse fell like 200 feet. and I literally said into the microphone, he'll be fine.
That's a stunt horse.
He's a tough horse.
That?
I'm pretty sure I did. I'm still learning how to use everything.
Post that at some point.
One of the problems with this coronavirus time is you're trying to learn new technologies so that you can stay in touch with people, and you're trying to reach out to people as often as possible. Matt, how are you staying in touch with the people throughout this thing? Are you doing any FaceTiming, or what are you doing with this?
I hate video chatting, so I'm avoiding doing any of that. Like what? I need to take a shower and look good to sit around my house for somebody else? No, I don't want to do that. I've clients and stuff for I've worked from home for a long time for my day gig, so nothing's really changed that much in terms of what I'm doing on a day-to-day basis, quite frankly. But saw my mom yesterday, took her some food that I'd made, and just keeping in touch with relatives that way, just like normal. I'm not having to do anything sort of out of the ordinary other than it. The thing as a comedian is like a lot of what we do is we sit around home all day, and then we go out at night, and then we go tell jokes, and that's sort of like our outlet. and we don't have that anymore, right?
Yeah.
So that's sort of the challenge for me is like, okay, all these things that I think are funny or whatever, now I just sort of have to make a note of them, and then hopefully I can work on them as jokes later on, instead of what I would do is I'd go to an open mic and then start talking about them right away.
Yeah. That is very tricky.
And as soon as this quarantine is over, we are going to hear the same quarantine jokes coming out of the mouths of hundreds of different comedians, guaranteed. It's going to be the most annoying thing in the history of comedy. Will be going to open mics for the first month after this quarantine's over.
Well, and they'll have had 3 months to perfect them.
Yes.
And which means that a lot of even like the shittiest open micer will come up with probably a good 10 minutes on quarantine,
Yeah.
So
but like
telling the same joke is the shitty part.
Yeah.
It'll all be the exact same 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I feel like you're going to get people who are going to say, hey, that killed in front of my dog.
Oh, yeah. A lot of that.
Lots of that.
And you'll hear a lot of like shitty open micers, and it'll be the truth. They'll say, Dave Chappelle's using my joke.
Yes.
Yeah, because he thought of it on the same day you did, not because he stole it from you, you fucking idiot.
Right.
Yeah. And Dave Chappelle's not going to bother doing it on a special. He's just doing it at the Comedy Store one night and then moving on with his life, as opposed to trying to tell.
It'll be part of his 5-hour set.
Because
Comedy Store.
yeah, like we're going to hear these quarantine jokes for a year and a half.
Yeah.
Like they're going to be doing them. And it's just going to be like, remember when we were in quarantine? Well, this funny thing happened with my dog that one time. And you're just like, I don't care. It's,
Yeah, we're still hearing 9/11 jokes. Of course we're going to still hear quarantine jokes. Thank God Jay Leno isn't hosting anymore. He would throw that in with his next Judge Ito joke.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, it's weird, though. Those talk shows now, they're all doing it from their house and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't watch any of the talk shows anyway, so I'm not watching these now. But it's like, Jimmy Kimmel's in his house and he's doing a show from his living room. You're like, okay, I don't really care, but fine, have at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's doing what we all have the technology to do.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, basically, we're all the Tonight Show at this point.
Yeah.
Yes, we don't just have a similar name now.
I was watching Mad Max Fury Road the other night, and these girls see a satellite go by, and one of them goes, "Oh, that's from the old days when everyone had a show."
All right. My God. Were you getting prepped for what you think may happen in another 2 months?
I've been prepped since I was about 6 for all of this. Like, I had 2 older brothers that brought home R-rated movies all the time. Mm-hmm. Everything I watched in the 80s was basically saying this was going to happen. So I've always been half prepared for this.
And I think Stephen's preparation is by now you've watched so many TikTok videos you can do all the dances, right?
Yes, now I can do all the dances. I think I've watched
all the TikToks, every TikTok ever made. Stephen has watched.
I've watched every TikTok I'm pretty sure ever made. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have, and where I'm
so when you have to do the dancing fool for Lord Humongous and his road warriors, you'll be all set.
Yeah, absolutely. They're gonna need
a new Lord Humongous.
A who can a fat guy that can dance. That's who they're gonna be looking for.
Yeah.
To appease the king.
Yeah. Exactly.
I have never been fat, but I will say, as an observer of the world, a fat guy dancing is always funny.
Yeah.
It's never not funny.
Can't go wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
Even when it doesn't want to be, it's funny.
Yeah. It's a good skill to have.
Yeah. That is a fact. That is a fact.
You'll basically be the hood ornament on the front, like the blind guitarist that they had.
Oh yeah.
You'll be the one who dances in front of him.
Yeah.
While
it is weird though, like staying home for large periods of time, and I think the only place I've been in the last 2 days. Oh, I was gonna go last night. I was like, I called Matt. And I was like, I think I'm gonna go out into the world. I'm gonna go to In-N-Out and I'm going to get a burger at In-N-Out. I think I'm going to do the drive and go over there. And then I turned on the news for like 4 seconds, and I was like, I'm going to stay at home. I'm going to stay at home. I'm going to stay at home again.
You didn't?
And so it's like now it's been 3 days where I haven't left the house in 3 days. That starts you like, oh, I remember that. Remember that show, 600-Pound Life?
Yeah.
Like, this is how it all.
This is how it started.
This is how we get more seasons of that show. Leave me at home with a box of cookies.
That's a conspiracy theory.
Corn dogs I bought.
That's a conspiracy theory I could get behind. That TLC was behind the COVID-19 virus. Release it into the world to ensure more seasons of My 600-Pound Life, so we can get that weird doctor who goes to people and he's got that hunchback and he's like, so it seems that you eat 14 packages of Oreos a day? Yeah, that's what I like to eat. You shouldn't do that. Oh, really? That's not good for you? Like, it happens every episode. It's the funniest thing. Yeah.
He's wonderful. That guy's great.
How do you become a doctor and become the guy that's the My 600-Pound Life guy? Like, what decisions did you make at medical school that you should not have made to where this is now your practice?
I like to think he was bullied by a bunch of other fat doctors that came over and took his lunch and ate it in front of him.
And he's like, I'm going to make it so nobody's fat again.
Yeah. Remove all the fatties from Los Angeles.
He looks like Igor from Young Frankenstein. He's got like that hunchback and everything, and it's just he's such a weird looking dude. Oh.
Yeah, I tried to make fun of it on and do do the voice of a bunch of the people on it, and you can't make fun of it because it's already too funny.
Yeah, it's a self-parody. Yeah. You can't parody something that's already almost a parody. Yeah.
Yeah. No, you really can't. I mean, that's one of the reasons why Saturday Night Live and places like, like the Tonight Show and these places, why they have so much trouble writing monologues and doing the things that they do. I mean, Lori Kilmartin told us about that, about how writing monologues during Obama was like the easiest job in the world. And now it's like it could not be more difficult because it's just it changes, like hourly.
Yeah, like you say something outrageous, and then something more outrageous plays out on the news, and then you're like, well, that joke is no longer funny.
Yeah, like there was a video. There's a video of the president where he's standing to the side, and there's this woman from I think the CDC or from somewhere. She's, in the center, and she's talking to the White House press corps. And did you see this? Do you know which video I'm talking about?
No, just tell the
story. All right, and she's talking to them, and she goes, "Now you may have noticed I wasn't here over this past weekend. That's because I had a low-grade fever." Oh, yeah. And Donald Trump, the president of the United States, goes, "Nope," and turns around and walks off the stage. He just goes, "Nope," and then walks away.
Yeah, that was funny.
It gets a huge laugh in the room, and I was like, okay, well that's the funniest possible clip from whatever happened that day, right? There couldn't be anything funnier. And then another clip came out from the same day, same press conference, where she's talking, and he goes, quick question. Normally the White House, press corps, it's jam-packed in here. There's so many people. Everyone it's thick. Every row is thick. There's like people are sitting on each other's laps, and now we can only have a quarter, so that way everyone is 6 feet away from each other, sitting in the room. Everyone is outside. They're very jealous. They're very jealous of everyone in here, even though they never say a nice thing about me. They're jealous that they can't come in the room. So do you ever think that we'll get back to the place where they'll all be allowed in here to say horrible things to me? Or do you think it'll stay this way with only just a few people saying horrible things to me? Any idea which one it's leading to? And then he turns to the guy next to him, and the guy loses it, is crying laughing. And they're just fucking around. Like this is they're just they're just fucking around. Like they're not even. I don't know what I want them to do, but it's not. It's not that.
It's something else.
No. You don't turn the press corps into a roast.
Yeah.
No.
Well, it's like
looking around the dais for other people to roast.
It feels, not to say that, not to like make this a me thing in any way, but it does kind of feel like if I was president, this is probably how it would go. Like this, I'm not good at things. I'm bad at stuff.
Yeah.
And I've made a lot of bad choices over the years. Like he had sex with Stormy Daniels. You know, she came to my album taping. Like I feel like I probably would not be. I wouldn't be. I wouldn't be. Anti-Semitic and racist and homophobic and shit like that.
Are you sure?
But I would. I don't know. I probably make a lot of mistakes.
Maybe it goes with The Office. I don't know. It's
I don't know.
Yeah.
It feels like that.
But
is this your way of saying you want to throw your hat into the ring for the next election?
If I wasn't Canadian,
yes.
you know I'd be one of those idiots that runs for some sort of
You'd
office.
be like Joe Exotic.
No, I would be.
You'd pull a Joe Exotic and run for office and get third place and just look like a clown.
1,000%.
Yeah.
Oh, have you been watching the show finally? That's good.
Yeah, I've seen Tiger King. Mike, have you watched Tiger King?
No,
You're the last one who hasn't seen it.
I'm the last person alive that survives coronavirus. I will still not watch it. I just don't care.
It's very entertaining and it's about crazy people. Like it's sort of if you watched the people that were on Maury Povich or Jerry Springer, and there was like a leader of all those people, that would be who this is about.
It's basically like Florida, the TV show. Right?
Yes. Because people, like, a lot of people don't watch a lot of documentaries about weird people, and I do. So I'm not as shocked by some of the things going on in it as other people are when they watch it. But to them, I just say, like, go watch everything Errol Morris ever made, and then you'll have hours and hours of entertainment, because he's got movies about, like, crazy people like this all the time. And he has one, like Vernon, Florida, about the people in this weird town in Florida, and it's all about like these people are like basically carnies, only the animal side of carnies, right? With their private zoos, and they own like hundreds of tigers, and they're trying to kill each other, and they're all polygamists, and but they're wacky people. It's very entertaining, and I recommend it.
All right, maybe I'll watch it.
Yeah.
I mean, look, there's plenty of worse things to be watching on TV.
There's also plenty of better things to be watching.
That's true. I'm not gonna deny that. That is.
And Stephen,
true.
you haven't had time to watch anything the last like week because you've been animating, like 60 hours in the last week for like 30 seconds.
God. Yeah. Sometimes I do this where I go, and we do this. We do this as friends, and I think I have talked you guys into. Thankfully, none of you guys have to be involved with what I'm currently doing alone at home and driving only myself insane. But like when we made our comic book, and
that's my fault.
Comic-Con,
I'm the one who said we should make one, so that's on me.
Yeah, how many hours was that? Do you remember how many hours?
We spent like 30 hours on the phone, screen sharing my computer on the phone for like 30 hours working on that thing. Yeah,
it was a lot of work. It was a lot of work, but people love it, and people, it helped us get sponsored by Sennheiser, which is thank God for that, and it definitely made some huge differences with some of the other companies that we have worked with, because they saw that we appreciate them and stuff. And, Overnight Prince did such a great job with that comic book.
It looks amazing.
Outrageous. Yeah.
Hey, a quick thing I want to talk about, Mike Black. I think this is something that we really should talk about. Yeah. And it's a company that was founded in 1983 in Tokyo, Japan, Of course, I'm talking about the Zoom Corporation.
Zoom.
Now, if it wasn't for Zoom, and Matt knows this, we would not be able to do our show. They make the best audio equipment in the world. Which one are we using right now?
We're recording onto a Zoom LiveTrack L8 right now, and when we go do our live events at conventions and stuff, we often use the Zoom H6, and they're both just fantastic pieces of equipment. You plug your microphones in, you plug your headphones in, and you're good to go.
Yeah, I mean, whether you're a classically trained pianist or a run-and-gun filmmaker or a podcaster like us.
Yep.
Yeah.
I do a ton of podcasts, and I can tell by listening when they're using a Zoom and when they're not.
Yeah,
It's the mark of excellence.
It really is. Go check out all their stuff over at zoom-na.com. That's zoom-na.com. Be professional, for God's sake. zoom-na.com. I want to talk about a third-generation, family-run business that I am very proud to be working with. Sennheiser is the top tier microphone company in the world, and we are so lucky that we are now recording our show using Sennheiser microphones and their headphones. It's awesome.
We're talking into Sennheiser MD42 microphones and using Sennheiser HD25 headphones, and these sound amazing.
I mean, listen to Mike Black's voice.
Listen to the rich and sumptuous soundscape that comes out of my voice.
Oh.
Every time I speak into a Sennheiser.
Absolutely. Go check out their microphones and their sound equipment over at Sennheiser.com. All right, let's get back to the show.
So my stand-up album comes out on Tuesday. So it'll be when this is out for people to listen to. They'll be able to check out the whole thing. You can always listen to it for free on Pandora, but if you want to own the album, then it's going to be available on iTunes and SiriusXM, all that kind of stuff. And what I had the brilliant idea of doing was to hand animate frame by frame a few minutes of stand-up from the album, and I do not have the equipment to do that the way that animators typically do that. So what I'm doing is I'm drawing in my iPad a face without a mouth and without eyes, and then I will draw a couple sets of eyes, and then I'll draw a couple sets of mouths, and then a couple different mouths, and then I literally take those transparent PNG files, send them from the iPad to the computer, and then load them into Final Cut 7, which is the oldest possible thing to be editing on, unless I have like a reel-to-reel to be editing. And then once those are all in the computer, then I go literally frame by frame and make the mouth open and close towards different, and then I change the eyes for different expressions when I'm saying different things, and it's exhausting, but it's fun.
Mm-hmm.
But it's taking up a lot of time.
I've seen, you showed me about 30 seconds, and it looks great.
Oh, well, that's nice of you to say.
Sometimes
it's coming
nice.
along.
Yeah.
Look at that. Matt Walker said something nice.
Also, because you're animating one of the jokes that I wrote for you, so...
That is very true. I do one of the jokes that you wrote for me. It was very true. It's a good joke.
Yes.
Solid joke.
Yeah.
But yeah, working on that and just trying not to go completely insane.
How long is the clip supposed to be when you're done?
So one of them I've already finished. It's a minute. The other one is the one that is getting done right now that I'm finishing up is a minute 24 seconds. So in total, like almost around 3 minutes of animation, maybe a little less.
And how many hours would you say went into that?
Oh, 40. Yeah. Well, like I'll tell you this. Yesterday, I worked for eight hours animating, and I was able to animate a total of 36 seconds.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
So 8 hours is 36 seconds.
Very, very proud of you.
Yeah.
Well,
So
I'm like, here's the truth of the matter is that for the album, they wanted a little animated thing, and they made something, and they sent it to me, and I was like, it was fine, but I was like, I got it in my head, kind of being like, I can do it. I want to do it.
Yeah.
And because we did the one with Bruce Valanche, like I have some ideas now of like how to get it done and what things need to happen.
Like you did
to
the
make
G.I.
that
Joe
work.
one. You did the He-Man one. I just think of like you should tell this to Floyd Norman and Tom Cook, and they could just laugh at you.
Yeah,
with your workflow.
I know. I've talked to Tom Cito about this, and he's like, "You're out of your fucking mind."
It's like nobody does that. Why would you do that? Yeah.
He's like, we stopped doing that in He-Man. Like, you're out of your damn gourd.
He's like, in He-Man, we only did 15 frames a second. What's wrong with you?
And they reused the same. Basically 5 minutes that they just recranked over and over again.
Yeah, I remember when we interviewed Tom Cook. If you go back and listen to that interview, he talked about there was like a thing in the office where like we have to use it was like 5 minutes of footage that's just reused. We just have to repurpose it. So it's like all the running scenes and the fighting scenes or whatever were exactly the same over and over again.
Yeah. That's what you need to do, Stephen, is come up with like about 8 common scenes and just run a show around those.
The ultimate goal of like something that I'd like to try to do during this period is to do another like nighttime show one and get some of that done. But I should probably be doing other stuff besides this, like building dioramas.
Yeah. Well, that's your thing.
Driving horses off cliffs.
Yeah,
come on.
Do you want to build some more dollhouses, Steve, for your little dolls?
No, Mike Black, you build some dioramas. You made some dioramas in your day.
I build tasteful display shelves for my action figures. You build dollhouses.
Okay, all right. I see where this is going, you sons of bitches.
Do you need to call your toy friend Dana Gould?
I do not need to call my toy friend. I do have a guy listed in my phone as toy friend, though. So
who's that?
It's a guy. There's a guy who lives in the Midwest.
He has a handlebar mustache.
Yes.
And a assless chaps and a leather top hat that he wears everywhere.
His name is Joe Exotic, and he's very good at what he does. He lets me play with his tigers. So.
Yeah.
Come on. What's so funny is like in that show, the freaking
Tiger King
show, the Tiger King show. The guy who's married to all the women, who's like that dude. I've been following that guy on TikTok now since October, and I had no idea. I thought he worked at a zoo. I had no idea that he was just some guy.
Now, isn't he the one? Isn't he the one where they said in the credits that he now also got arrested?
Oh, I think so.
Yeah, the guy with the long white ponytail, right?
Yeah, and he had the white hair. Yeah. But he's still making videos on TikTok. So I mean,
TikTok, you don't stop.
Whatever the charges were.
That's what you got to do. That's what the song was, right? TikTok, you don't stop. From back in the day.
Well, I appreciate getting to talk to all of you guys.
Yeah.
And I think the next big thing that's gonna happen here is we're gonna do some real fun interviews with some celebby people that maybe don't live in our area.
Yeah.
Where we can grab them and have a little chitty chat with them.
I may wind up going to Stephen's rec room if we can sit like 10 feet apart and still social distance and get 2 of us on the microphones, and then get the rest in through phone is one thing we might do. So, and by the way, shout out to Sennheiser and Zoom for making this possible. Their equipment is awesome. The sound quality is amazing, and the ability to do things like this is so much easier, because with our old setup, I used to be able to do phone interviews, but it was like I had to run everything through like 6 different cables and patch them through to get to a phone, and it was a very complicated setup. But now it's actually somewhat easy, and I'm really impressed with the stuff we have. So thank you to them.
Yeah. No, it really is. It is a huge, huge help for us to be able to do all this stuff. So this is pretty great. All right, guys. Well, stay safe. Okay. Be careful. What are you doing to stay safe? What is your precautionary measures? How far out into the world will you go?
Mike, how far will you go?
Who? Oh, me?
Yes.
I still go to Target.
Okay.
To get groceries and stuff, but that's about it.
So Mike is a target for anybody looking to hunt someone. So.
If I'll hit like a drive-through, it'll be one that I know has like that plastic barrier. Like there's a real safe Panda Express, and there's a real safe Taco Bell, and I still go to those every now and again.
They're still killing you, just not with Corona.
I'm actually more afraid of police than anyone else because they're real hardcore right now about keeping everyone indoors, and I get it. So I go and I do my thing, and then I get back home as soon as I can.
What about you, Matthew?
I'll go to my mom's house.
What are you doing to stay safe?
I'm staying here. I'll go visit my mom. I'll go to bring some food to her place. I've got a lot of food here that I get delivered, and I'll go to the grocery store. But that's really about it. I'm not going anywhere else. I'm not, hanging out with a lot of people or anything like that. Can't go anywhere. Everything's closed anyway, so you really can't.
Yeah, right when the Corona thing started, or not right when it started, but maybe like a couple weeks ago, one of my neighbors asked if I could take her to the grocery store and to go get marijuana so she could smoke marijuana. And so we went to the grocery store, and there was like a line, and everyone had to stand 6 feet away from each other and the whole bit. And we got in, we got our groceries, and then we went to the weed place for her to go pick up her weed. And it was one of the craziest things I've experienced, where we pulled in, there were armed guards, and they said, did you place an order? And she was like, yes, under Maria. And they go, okay, pull over there to that park thing, pull out your ID, make sure your cash is ready. And then she's sitting in my car, and we're sitting there. And then a guy comes up to the window in a lab coat with a gas mask on, goggles, and rubber gloves. And he goes, are you Maria? And she goes, yes, I am. And he goes, cash, please. She goes, here you go. And he goes, okay, great. And here is your brick of marijuana. And then handed it to her. And we were like outside. And it just felt like, oh, this is being a drug dealer in the future. Like, this is the weirdest.
He's dressed like the guy that makes the meth in the other drug deals.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah. That is exactly right. Yeah, it was fucking bizarre. It's very, very weird. But yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
well,
pretty strange.
And if
pretty
anybody wants to see photos of Mike Black and your tasteful displays of your action figures, where can they do that?
At Mike Black Attack on Instagram, and also check out my Twitter, where you will see me and Stephen play Red Dead Redemption 2 and strap a bunch of criminals to train tracks.
All right.
Yes, check it out. It's definitely worth watching, for sure.
And
you can always get me at Stephen Glickman, STPHEN Glickman, on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. And don't forget to subscribe to the Nighttime Show podcast. Send us some comments and some love. And stay safe out there,
yes,
my friends.
And lots of new things coming soon to this podcast, and those of our friends that we're excited about we can't talk about yet, but stay tuned.
You bet. Yeah.
Stand